taking you behind the scenes of how I do all of my branding photography shoots. So branding has been something that I have more recently introduced within my business within the past year, but has been something that I've been doing for a couple of years now, but just not focusing a huge emphasis on within my business. But this is something that I have been super passionate about recently and know that it's something that I want to stick with going forward. So today I wanted to take you behind the scenes of what my branding photography process looks like, just in case that's something that you are looking to get into yourself and looking for some more resources behind. So for branding, when I get an inquiry, what I first usually do is try to schedule a time to chat with the business owner. I have a pretty extensive take-in contact form. So my contact form will ask them a bunch of questions kind of around just what date and location they're thinking of doing, what their biggest business goals are within the upcoming 3 to 6 months so that we can shoot really intentionally for that, what they think makes their business really unique. That's something that I really look into to make sure that I am capturing pictures that capture that unique individual thing about each business. So then I try to email back really quickly, share something that I love about their business and why I would be excited to work with them, and then I schedule a time to chat with them. So I do this all through Honeybook, which is my client management system, and it allows you to add in a little link to a calendar that you can really control, and that way it gives them all the information of when you can meet, the Zoom link, notes, and stuff like that for them. So once we hop on that first call, I'm really trying to get to know the business owner and their business in as much detail as I possibly can. So again, like I mentioned, I'll ask them to describe their goals a little bit more in depth. I'll ask them to describe their client process, super in depth from start to finish, kind of what they do. If they have any products or offerings, I want to know the ins and outs about the product, why they offer the product, really get to know their ideal client so that I can shoot so that these are going to be images that capture the attention of their ideal clients. I ask a ton of questions on this consult call, and then towards the end of the consult call, I'll walk them through my personal branding process and try to see if we are a good fit, if I can help them capture the type of intentional imagery that is going to bring in their ideal clients within their business. So after we wrap up with that call, I make sure that I have my notes all about the client, and then I will send them a proposal with the collection that I think best fits what their business needs at the time. So some people are going to only really need 2-ish hours of shooting. If it's a business owner that has multiple products and offerings, I generally recommend going with 4 hours. If it's somebody who needs content for a really extended period of time, so 6 to 12 months, has a bunch of different locations in mind that would be really helpful and intentional from the brand, then I'm going to recommend the 6-hour package for them. Those are the 3 that I currently offer, and we just make sure that we find one that fits them best on that call, so then after the call I can send them a proposal with the specific collection in mind so that they can go ahead and book and reserve their date. So once they've officially booked and set their date, I send over a very detailed questionnaire, again, to really dive in deep to who their ideal client is, what their business is like, what the processes are like, where they draw their inspiration. I ask a ton of really detailed questions just to really be able to kind of understand and almost think like my business owner and their ideal client so that I have that in mind while I'm shooting for their brand. So after they get me back that detailed questionnaire, that's when I go in and start doing a ton of research and start creating shot concepts. So usually I'll do a couple of different sections. So one section might be, say, for a wedding and family portrait photographer. One section is going to be focused on their wedding photography. Another section of the shoot might be focused on their family sessions. Another section of their shoot might be focused on the personal things, that the personal little aspects that they bring into their own brand if they personally market their brand. And another section might be focused on them in the office, kind of behind the scenes running their business, if that makes sense. So then within those 4 different storylines, I'll start brainstorming different types of shots that we need. I'll ask them for which specific tools that they use so that I know that we're getting intentional imagery around the different tools that they're using day to day, really know what they're going to look like while they're doing that type of work. So I start building out those ideas for concepts. I'm doing a ton of research, looking into their entire website, all of their social media, reading their captions so that I can understand their brand voice and how their brand really shows up and uniquely and authentically online. I'm looking into research around their ideal clients just on Google. And I generally try to not look at any other like brand sheets for the type of client that they are. So if I'm doing a branding session for a family and wedding photographer, I'm not going to go and look at different images of different brand shoots for family and wedding photographers, because then their imagery is going to look the same as somebody else's and it's not going to be unique and like really set them apart. And that's the whole goal of the branding session, right? Of like creating images that are going to stop their ideal client in their tracks and like attract their attention, not something that's just going to blend into the like organic landscape that's already there. So I try to think really out of the box and create those shot concepts. So once I have those shot concepts, I'll do a Zoom call with my client. That's kind of when we'll figure out exactly where we're shooting, make sure that they have reserved like an Airbnb space for their location if they're not shooting in their own home. I'll walk them through all of the different storylines and show them some of the sample like shot concept ideas that I have, just to make sure that I'm on the right track. And I share this Google document with them so that if they come up with any ideas that they know they need images for in their business, they can just add it into the shot list. I try to emphasize how collaborative of a process this is. So if they need any specific imagery, I am so here to take it for them. And I encourage them to let me know that throughout the entire process, whether it's before we start shooting or as we're shooting. And so from that document, I'll start building off of that a little bit more, give them suggestions for different types of outfits for the different storylines. So the outfit section is in there. I'll put in a sample timeline for us for the brand shoot so that we can stay on track and make sure that we hit everything that we have. And I'll have all of the information, so like where we're shooting and just things like that. And I also actually add in a packing list on there for them. So I will list out all of the different things that I think they can bring to help kind of like set the stage for their branding session. Make sure that the space, if they're renting one, really looks like them, and they have pictures of like the actual day-to-day tools that they're using within their business. So this takes off a lot of pressure for my clients because they don't have to sit through and like brainstorm everything that they need to bring. They have this packing list and they can add to it if they think of something that they're like, oh, I should make sure that I have this like plant that I always have in the back of my Instagram stories or something like that. So as we get closer to the shoot, I make sure that my clients will add in pictures of their outfit, and then I will send over the final packing list to them about a week before, confirm that the weather looks good if we are going to be shooting anything outdoors at all, and then just get really excited to have the actual branding session on the day that's coming up. So day of the shoot, I try to show up at least 30 minutes early. We use that time to, again, like confirm what we're going to start shooting in outfit-wise and kind of what the general plan for the day is. If we need to set up their like workspace in like an Airbnb, we have time to do that. And then I start shooting, and I really work off of my printed shot concept idea list. But I also give myself some space to get creative. So if I think of anything while I'm there on the scene, I'm not afraid to make sure that I shoot that as well. But for the most part, we're just running off of that shot concept list. And so post session day, I'll usually send over a couple of sneak peeks within that first week that they can start using within their own business to update their website and their social media and all of that good jazz. And then I get the rest of the images edited and delivered within 2 to 3 weeks for them, and ask for a testimonial and that they feel free to use them wherever they want as they want within their business. So that's an overview of the entire branding process that I use currently within my business. If you found this helpful, be sure to hit like and hit subscribe so you see all of the videos that come out every single week. If you want me to dive deeper into a particular part of the branding process, be sure to let me know down in the comments below or shoot me a DM on Instagram. I'm at Manali Sintake, and I will catch you guys in the next video. If you're loving this episode, I would love for you to swipe a page or two out of my free resources library. I have a free class all on the systems you need to quickly grow your photography business. I cover 3 key systems that you need in place to be able to grow your business and triple your wedding bookings and go full-time in less than 1 year. I also have another quick little freebie just for you. I am letting you swipe my booked wedding client questionnaire. If you're loving this episode, I would love for you to swipe a page or two out of my free resources library. I have a free class all on the systems you need to quickly grow your photography business. I cover 3 key systems that you need in place to be able to grow your business and triple your wedding bookings and go full-time in less than 1 year. I also have another quick little freebie just for you. I am letting you swipe my booked wedding client questionnaire. Whenever I have a wedding client book, I always do a little happy dance and then personalize their client experience with this questionnaire. It gets me all of the details that I need right up front, right when they book, and sets me up not only to figure out what sets me apart from other people in the market, figure out more details about them and personalize their wedding experience, and help start planning out their engagement session and more. Be sure to go to manaliphotography.com or see the show notes to grab either one of these 2 freebies, and I can't wait to see how it helps you grow your business. Whenever I have a wedding client book, I always do a little happy dance and then personalize their client experience with this questionnaire. It gets me all of the details that I need right up front, right when they book, and sets me up not only to figure out what sets me apart from other people in the market, figure out more details about them and personalize their wedding experience, and help start planning out their engagement session and more. Be sure to go to manaliphotography.com or see the show notes to grab either one of these 2 freebies, and I can't wait to see how it helps you grow your business.